And the temperature is rising here already with the watch party in full swing. Hi, everyone, and welcome. We bring you a regular season game and a moment to check out who the Boston Celtics have coming up. On Wednesday, they kick off a road trip to Charlotte, where they'll take on the Hornets. And then Friday, they'll face off against Anthony Davis and the Dallas Mavericks.
When you look ahead, there are a lot of winnable games, but you really can't think that as a player. You have to take every opponent seriously because this is the NBA. No game is a freebie.
So let's take a look at the starters for Toronto. Scotty Barnes is out there with Jackson Hayes. Then there's Emmanuel Quickley. Then it's Grady Dick. And it's Ingram in at the small forward position. And for Boston, the core of this team, Brown and Tatum in the front court, Pritchard and White at the 1 and the 2. And a lot of talk this year about MP and his sights set on securing the NBA Cup for his team. It really adds a bit of intrigue and drama to what's already become a fan favorite here in the early goings of the NBA season.
Yeah, as if we needed any more drama. MP, I think, draws a lot of attention to himself with his expectations and goals, but I admire that he puts his vision into reality and isn't afraid to tell the world what he wants to achieve. MP always seems to find a way to give us must-watch NBA action. Incredible! I mean, this is the NBA. The defense needs to be much better.
He doesn't slam it often, but the D can't take him lightly, or he will.
Well, any guy can throw it down against air defending him. Plenty of room, so not so amazing. What does amaze me, though, is that no one came over to contest the play.
And as some of you might know, this game serving as the third contest in group play of the NBA Cup tournament for these two teams. Grant, a lot on the line here tonight for them.
Yeah, BA, and both sides are very much alive in the group stage at this point. Whoever gets the win here is well on their way to the next stage of the NBA Cup.
Dick gets the bucket.
And setting the tempo with an assertive move. Like, where was the defense on that play?
Yeah, APB sent out to try to find out where the defense is. Inexcusable.
Here's Ingram. And he buries his first look.
They've hit 4 of their first 5 shots. Great execution and attention to detail.
Launches the 3. He's in his comfort zone. 2 for 2 to start this one.
Hey, when he's hitting that shot, it really helps the spacing for this team.
No question. He is connecting from those kind of spots on the floor. It is just a huge boost for what they can do offensively.
And both teams running long-range plays that are working.
Well, both of them looking towards the three-point line, and I like to see that, especially when the results are made buckets.
And Brandon Ingram was the key piece of the Anthony Davis trade. That move changed his career, Brent.
No doubt about it. B.I. won the most improved player of the year in his first season away from the Lakers, so sometimes that change of scenery can open up opportunity and get you a chance to show your excellence.
And that one's good. Ingram. And a moment here to take a look at some hustle stats for Toronto.
Well, their hands resulting in plenty of steals in the early going, keeping the opposition there off balance.
I wonder if pace and playing fast is something that they're being encouraged to do, because right now they feel like the faster team.
Now here's Ingram. 17 points in his last outing. And down it goes. 2 points.
Well, he's throwing the defense off balance, and then he gets to the bucket. That's a nice move from Ingram.
All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
I caught up with Coach Joe Mazzulla. We got to talking about Brandon Ingram, and I asked how Coach thought they might limit him tonight. Coach told me, well, there's nothing we can do about his size and his length, so we're hoping just to frustrate him and keep him off balance by getting up in his business and contesting shots. Hopefully that plan pans out for them, guys.
Great work, Allie. Thanks.
Oh, there's some vertical on display. Quickly skying up for the jam.
And Joe Mazzulla.
Substitution on the court.
Here in the second quarter, a little over a minute of play. From downtown, it's rebounded by Barrett. Toronto leading by 12. So for the Raptors right now, R.J. Barrett out there with Brandon Ingram. Then it's Walter, and it's Bobo in at the center position.
Well, the defense has to do a better job, but when Brandon Ingram is on the break, those strides, man, he takes up a lot of ground. Kind of like playing in the rec league, little to no defense on that possession, and the easiest three-pointer you can imagine.
Here's Shed. Boston pulls it in. This game coming after a loss versus the Bulls.
And they got to the line at a good clip, but couldn't cash in, and it ruined their chances.
Yeah, drawing fouls is tough, but the important part about that is when you get to the free throw line, you got to turn those into points, and it might have cost them in that last ball game, missing all those chippies.
Celtics trail by 13. Back to Tatum. Here's the three. Count that one. He's scoring at a nice clip. He's 6 of 9 tonight.
Back-to-back threes, making their defense work on the perimeter a bit.
Tatum brings a double team. Pass to Mobo. To the middle. Here's Walter. And he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
Nice one-handed jam. Simple and effective, B.A.
Hey, with the lead, I'm surprised he didn't come up with something a little more creative. Tatum, a screen on Ingram. Now here's Tatum. Lets it go from deep. Ooh, he's found his rhythm. 7 for 10 and counting.
Just incredible. I mean, he's really making it rain out there, knocking them down one after another.
Kind of like he's in his living room right now. He's found a comfort zone. Once he gets that, the defense knows they're in trouble.
Walter from outside. Tatum pulls it in. Boston's gone 3 of 6 from outside in the second quarter. Holiday's over to help. Ingram on the wing. On target from range. Ingram's got 5 points now this quarter.
They're shooting nearly 50% from beyond the arc, and their confidence is growing.
Takes a three, and again, Boston with the triple.
A dozen consecutive points off of threes. This defense looks rattled.
Holiday's over to help. Here's Mobo. Boom! He jams it straight down.
Not getting old here. Seeing him make that lead pass with perfect timing.
And Joe Mazzulla calls timeout here. He's going to gather the troops and talk it over. A big group substitution here for Boston. Hauser, he's checked in for Queta. Jaylen Brown comes in for Jason Tatum. Derek White's checked in for Alexander Walker. And Pritchard is subbed in for Drew Holiday. And it's good. 2 points.
When they get their opportunity to punch it inside, they don't hesitate.
Barnes drives in, bearing his second of 3 attempts.
They just look so overwhelmed inside. You know, that's why they continue to get attacked.
And stolen by Barrett. Lets it go from 11. It's wide right, hits off the rim. Celtics trail by 11. It goes. He's 10 for 13. So much confidence.
Yeah, he's leading the charge for them. But let's be honest, he needs more help if they're going to get out in front.
Yeah, doing anything he can right now to get his team to cut into this lead and give them a chance.
The Celtics have gotten 7 of 12 shots to go here in the second. Fires for 3. Gets the 3-ball to go. That's 29 for him.
This defense just can't stay connected to shooters.
Raptors lead by 6.
Yeah, just hold for the last shot. Don't give them another possession at all.
And hopefully that's what they'll do here. It's what most teams try to execute at this time in the game.
And it's quickly with a miss.
Good shot, gone bad. Gotta finish there.
Puts up a 3. No good. And that'll do it for the first half of play. Raptors out in front. They lead by 6. And don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
Fans, please direct your attention to center court. And get ready for the fans half-court shot.
Breaking news right now, guys. Melania Trump was mistakenly detained by ICE yesterday.
And thank you for joining
Sunday.
us, as with 2 quarters in the books, it's looking good for the Toronto Raptors.
Are you a snorer?
Their bench has been strong. Guys coming in, accepting their roles, playing well in the minutes they're getting.
I'll take your word on this one, Kenny. You're the backup expert.
And another important topic, injuries. Let's take a look at what's happening across the NBA.
The Pistons are at less than 100%. Boy, The loss of Cade Cunningham, man. He's such a strong presence. He has such an impact on the game in a big, big way. Man, they'll have trouble riding this out without it.
Next man up. That's what's up. Glad you could join us. Brian Anderson and crew are ready to take it away for the start of the third quarter.
And if you're just joining us, we played through.
That we've auctioned a couple times. And that have not sold. So we're dropping it all the way down to the 500. I know. People quick sell. I know. Oh, look at those. Those are so cool. Let's say air right on them. DDT.
Amazon Prime members get free.
Hater, how's it going?
That's what all we are.
Rebels? Yeah. 35. Nice.
The first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. And here's Quickly. He'll bring it up for the Raptors. They host the Hawks after this one, and that's a one-game homestand for the club. Pritchard and White at the 1 and the 2. The two Jays, Brown at the 3 and Tatum at the 4. And that's the group for Joe Mazzulla as we begin the second half. And Grant, we know the importance of the veteran leaders on a team, but not every vet wants to accept a mentorship role.
Very true, B.A. In your later years, that role becomes a blend of playing and kind of coaching. Not everyone is cut out for that.
From outside the arc, drains the triple.
He's really become a better all-around player. Brown's passing continues to evolve. Nice find.
Outside Dick from behind the arc. The rebound, Celtics.
You talk about things at halftime, and then you come out and you go 0 for 3. I'm sure that wasn't up on the board.
And let's swing it over to the sideline and hear from Allie.
Guys, Scotty Barnes said, my game starts on the defensive end, guarding anybody and taking pride in it. That leads to great offensive transition and just leads me to stay on lockdown throughout the game. Brian?
And Allie, for all his offensive gifts, that focus on defense is what makes him special.
Might be time for the coaching staff to bust out a play for him to get going. 0 for 4 to start the half.
Toronto's got nothing to fall from outside in this third quarter. Quickly finds Barnes. And stolen by Brown. Just over a minute and a half played in the third. For the lead. And again for 3. Buries his 10th triple of the game.
Unbelievable, B.A. Unbelievable.
I'd wear these. Those look sharp, those black ones. I'd wear those. Yo, AO Meeks. 6 dark matter cards
Down
for
low.
J Kid.
Here's Hayes. And finished off by Hayes.
See, and I bet you're
we
feeling
know
the
Quickly
pressure to
can
rip
score,
packs, huh?
but there He shows off his passing ability.
Tatum from long range. He can't get it to go. The Raptors have gotten just 1 of 5 shots to drop since halftime. And that one's good. Quickly's gotten his 3rd basket of the night.
All kinds of grit there on the inside from Emmanuel Quickly.
Outside Tatum. Pass to Pritchard. 4-3. Drills it from deep.
Yeah, see, that's the basis of the offense. To get you to feel like, oh man, I'm so close now, I got
in the second half. And finished
or to
off
start
by
off,
Hayes.
oh, I need all these cards, I better rip packs in the beginning.
Continue to grow. A terrific
There's going to be a new event. New events packs all day.
To the wing, right side. Good!
Yeah, so this is the last chance.
Another from 3.
He's been on the money from deep.
Definitely looking to shoot as much as possible. Raptors trail by 3.
Oh, it was work.
3 from Quickly.
It was a unforgettable day.
The battle of the
Nobody got
boards
hurt.
has been something to watch.
Outside Tatum. The 3. Quickly with a rebound. For Toronto, they've gotten just 3 of 8 shots to go in the 3rd quarter. Britt, we've seen Quickly step up as a team leader since he came into the league.
Well, he's had tremendous confidence in what it is that he brings to a basketball team from the very beginning. It's taken him a little bit of time to gain that in the NBA setting, but he is now asserting himself as a floor general.
Drops in the 3.
All 5 of the last buckets they've given up have been from downtown.
And here's Ingram outside. He's got it. 6 of 10 now.
Woohoo, these teams are dueling, and Brandon Ingram answers back with a triple of his own.
And Joe Mazzulla has called timeout. He wants a few moments to regroup with his players. And Boston with some changes. Cadis checked in for Tatum. Alexander Walker comes in for White. And Holiday subbed in for Pritchard. For Toronto, they've gotten 5 of 10 shots to go. Barnes. Oh, and a vicious dunk by Barnes.
You give Barnes any kind of opening, he's going to attack that rim.
Jacks up with 3. Toronto grabs the miss. Barrett's got 4 rebounds in the game. There's the double team with Alexander Walker. All sorts of time. Lobo can't hit.
I know it's about defending the post and the three-point line these days, but still got to be active in the mid-range area.
Which is the
defense
best
gets
dark
away with
matter.
one
We
there.
might have enough to get any dark matter.
Toronto has gone 2 of 6 from downtown here in the second half. Shed, that's good.
And they keep on figuring out ways to force the rock inside and convert.
Celtics trail by 4. There's a 4-second difference between the shot and game clock. They need this. From the arc. Alexander Walker with the bucket. Alexander Walker's got 7 points.
Man, they're having a hard time defending the triple. That's 3 in a row.
Barrett into the lane, and he goes in for the dunk.
And RJ can play where he's mixing up speeds, but is also in control of himself. This is the kind of stuff you get from him.
And
the game's still closely contested as we end the 3rd quarter. Toronto out in front.
Bam. Bam's the cheapest.
Toronto leading by 10. So the Raptors 5 right now. They've got Hayes. Dick is out there with Emmanuel Quickly. Then it's Brandon Ingram. And it's Barnes in at the power forward
But
position.
does anybody make the squat?
The 3 is up.
That's the real.
And yes, another basket.
My
This
goodness,
is squat.
50 for the game.
Just putting on a show. Toronto's gone 1 of 2 from deep in this
The
quarter.
swaggy dogs. Like, I know what I'm doing out here, Spider. Like, I know
Fires
what
the
I'm
3.
doing out here.
Oh, drew the foul and almost hit the 3-point bucket. But he'll head to the line for 3.
You know, not the smartest play a defender can make there.
He hits the second from the line. And
Kansas
the league has made it
stays.
clear, Grant, it sees streaming at the forefront of basketball viewing going forward.
Well, B.A., it's a no-brainer. The
Swap
internet
out
is the
swag.
future,
Yep.
after all, and streaming opens
Everything
up
must go
new
now.
options
Yeah.
for engaging with fans while they watch. This is
The
what
one
it's been
game
since
he's played,
halftime.
he's played 13
Remarkable
minutes.
results from downtown.
Pretty infectious right here, guys. In good spirits and percentages from downtown on the rise in the second half.
Hayes for three. Boston with a rebound.
Man, you get so caught up in the bravado of someone scoring on you and you wanting to even the score. Unfortunately, he couldn't answer back.
Had the space there, but it's offline.
Well, the D doesn't seem to be too worried about him from three-point range, and he shows us why still. I expect him to make one of those.
And we continue to watch the rise of Ingram. He just keeps adding to his offensive repertoire.
Hits a three-pointer.
And their strategy is obvious. Manufacture looks from outside the arc.
And I don't know how they keep doing this, but every time down,
Nice. So we haven't done the signature series event yet. We haven't been doing many of the events. You know, they won't add any playoffs cards until the end of the first round.
the resulting possession ends up at the three-point line and a fairly efficient shot attempt at that.
Everyone loves the alley-oop play, B.A.
Yep, one of the prettiest in basketball. Fires from deep. Sends it home from three-point land.
And any decent look from distance, he's taking it. He has that locked-in mentality right now.
Seems to be taking it on his shoulders aggressively to shrink this lead. They really needed those points.
And he gives up some size inside, but makes a great adjustment on the finish.
Yeah, the big man not going to slow him down from getting that deuce.
And he lobs it up. That shot missing.
That could have been an easy pass and finish. Not really sure what went wrong.
Yeah, you'd like to keep things a little more simple, and that was a play that didn't quite develop the way they wanted it.
It all comes down to this possession. They must get points.
And you can't make any mistakes right here if you want to keep hope alive. Their execution has to be precise.
Oh, got a piece of it. It's stolen by Barnes. Here's quickly. Rips down the breakaway slam.
really feels like they're in control. They've got a big lead with time dwindling.
Yeah, looking for a miracle worker out there is the opposing coaching staff. I don't know that they have one. This game seems to be well in hand.
And this guy is made for these moments. Tatum, the big-time shot.
And so they choose to intentionally foul. There's 37 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Now Ingram. And so it's going to be a 3-second violation there on the defense. And so he hits the technical free throw.
I think Brandon Ingram, not only a great story in his own right, starting to find out just how capable he is as a talent in this league, but also for executives about being patient and letting that talent develop.
Got to give them respect. They're doing everything they can to close this out.
You loved it. The guys are staying aggressive late in this ball game, just not wanting to let go of the rope.
And we've watched Brown evolve his game. Playmaking has been at the forefront of his development.
And now they decide to foul intentionally.
Second personal foul.
Good on the first, and that makes it a 7-point lead.
For the Raptors,
So he goes 2 for 2.
Liberal leader Mark Carney took his campaign today to British Columbia. Carney landed this afternoon in Victoria, where he appealed directly to BC voters. He then traveled to the mainland to make a couple of whistle stops and visit some small businesses. And tonight, Carney is scheduled to hold a rally.
Well, I'm going to use the cliche here. You can't take your timeouts with you, so they're going to use it.
See the car door.
We've got 13 seconds left to play in the fourth, and that's an intentional foul.
Yeah, no choice but to foul in that situation. Although, that's not the guy you want to send to the free throw line.
He drops the first one, and that increases the lead to 6. And so he drops them both, and it's a 7-point game.
Free throws always a little bit sweeter when they can add to your lead.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over. They're behind by 7. All right, guys, what's your take?
Too little, too late. Making a change won't save them now.
Well, I'm going to use the cliche here. You can't take your timeouts with you, so they're going to use it.
So the Raptors win it, and they picked up their second win in the group stage of the NBA Cup.
Well, that moves them to 2-1 during group play, and by avoiding that second loss, they put themselves in a...
Hey, yo, bad play.
Season's not over. Plenty of time left.
Like, Tots is so long. You know what I mean? By the time Tots is over, we're so tired of it. Which is so bad, but like, it's true. Why do I say that? I need to stop going top left. Do you think top left is the most popular place to go?
Life moves fast, so do we.
Send money quickly with Remitly.
Download the app today.
Pretty much they're both going to get like a playstyle upgrade or something like that, which isn't that crazy. But I'm sat here staring at these cards and think to myself, okay, which one do I think is actually going to get the upgrade? For me, it's Fati. And look, I'm always someone who like watches Madrid and enjoys watching Madrid. But when Barca and Madrid play, I always usually pick Madrid just because, like, you know, I grew up watching that Dingo team and all them. I mean, the R9 team and Zidane and all them. So I'm like, okay, but, you know, my football is kind of like me watching football for the whole year. I think Barca's a better team than Madrid. I think they play better football. So I think Barcelona's going to win it. So I'm leaning towards 2 and Fati. But then I look at this Fati card and I'm like, okay, it's cool. Even if it gets a playstyle upgrade, depending on what playstyle he gets, I'm not sure what he can get. Maybe it's like a finesse plus or something like that. This card could be pretty chill. I personally look at this Blair card and go, damn, this card's pretty nasty. Like, this is a dope looking card. The finesse shot, the through ball over the top, all this. Look at all the dribbling on him. I'm like, that's nasty. The problem is, I got a 92 rated Goulet that I don't use, that I evo. Let me take you over there. Look, by the way, we're going to talk about it in a minute. I'm in the 4-4-1-1. I was playing it last night in private.
Maybe taking in a movie, perhaps a comedy show, anything that could light.
Having a lot of fun with that card. Going back between Elise and Azevi, trying to figure out what the best move is. I was playing Elise at hand.
As more than just teammates.
I'm not going to lie to you. But I was just kind of pace of boost last night. Anyways, let me take you down here and show you this Goulet. I got a 92 rated Goulet. The difference is this is 10 playstyle. Like 11.
The season's just begun, but never too soon to check out the power rankings. Let's see how these teams are stacking up.
You don't see the point in doing like this card is a great card.
Up the lists to
this Goulet is a fantastic card. I don't see the point. And honestly, I don't even know why. The only reason I wasn't using this Goulet is because I was using Guti's through ball. I should actually stop using. Now that I've stopped using Guti, I should try this Goulet. Lads, I think I'm going to do Fati. And the thing is, Nico, that's not you. Let's say Nico Williams. Nico Williams go either side. So Nico Williams go over there. I think I'm going to do this Fati card. But it's not a great card. It's truly not a great card. I just believe deep down inside, without being 100% real with y'all, I believe Fati is going to get the upgrade. Now, it's a cheaper SBC, and it's not a bad card in any way. He could play left mid. He could play left wing, striker, and cam. The difference is you would either want him left mid or left wing because of inside forward, which are the ones I play. I think I'm going to get this
for Charlotte.
87 overall, it's not that big.
The ball so far. First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in. To the paint. Pass to man. Here's Salon, guarded by Tatum. And here's Miller outside. Miller with another miss.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the three. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
Tatum no good. Charlotte's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Caught up with Coach Charles Lee. Now, we talked about the difficulty of trying to contain a player like Jaylen Brown. Coach said we can't let him gain confidence and feel like he can do whatever he wants. That's when you get into trouble. Now it's up to the players to make sure this doesn't happen. Guys?
Thanks, David. Here is Miller following the three-pointer by Boston. After Salon. Grant gets a wide open look. Drills the three-pointer.
The wheel. Come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
A little back and forth from long range. I love it. That's a terrific answer there.
Brown with the screen on Williams. There's the lob to Brown. Up high to stuff the alley-oop.
Way above the rim. JB feeling it.
Pass to Salon. Miller surveying the floor. Rebound Boston. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to the Raptors.
Well, I felt like they were never on the same page defensively in that one. Gave up way too many easy shots.
And, you know, that's all about effort, and I'm sure that...
And the Hornets making a change here. Taylor's checked in. Second quarter, we're a little over a minute and a half in. Okogie, the pass to Smith. Nobody near Nurkic, and it's all evened up. Nurkic has got 7 points here in this quarter.
And I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter, and now you can see him getting into a rhythm.
On the court for the Celtics, filling the perimeter slots, it'll be White and Tatum. And it's Queta in at the center, filling out the middle. Smith with it. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against the Knicks in New York.
Boy, he was piling up those assists in that one. I mean, every pass seemed to be on time and on target.
Another shot, and it's in there.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
Well, I'm going to credit the screen. I mean, that's a good, strong pick he lays there.
Pass to Pritchard. Jams it with authority.
The finish was nice, but the setup was better.
Yeah, GA, the pick working to full effect before the stuff.
And, you know, not enough help from the defense there to compensate. He gets a clean look, and that's exactly how you draw it up.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
Celtics passing it around to the wing right side. To the hoop. Back to Tatum. Shot clock at 6. Can't connect from 13 feet out.
Well, they'll be happy with that look, even though it didn't fall.
You know what? That's a confidence shaker for him, though. I mean, that's a shot he expects to make every time.
The steal. Here's Okogie, guarded by Tatum. Pass to Taylor. In the corner, Smith with it. Down low, Nurkic, and finished off by Nurkic.
And you can't allow Nurkic to get that kind of position. When you do, he is going to rattle that rim.
That's another one for him. His 5th in just 7 shots.
And we've seen several lead changes tonight. Neither team giving an inch.
Yeah, and the lead has changed hands, and it just hasn't stayed in those hands very long when it's changed. Back and forth we go.
So a whole new group on the floor now for Charlotte, and then for Boston. Hauser's checked in, and it's Brown in for Tatum. Miller with a wide open look. They get it back. Out left to the wing. Here's Williams, and it's Williams finishing it off. Guys, what a tight start to the game this has been.
And it's still in the first half. This could be a wild one.
There's the triple. And it's in. Basket number 6 for him thus far. He has only missed 2 shots from the floor.
Well, I like how their perimeter game is building out. They're feeling it right now.
And really a good job spotting his teammate near the bucket and then just pinpoint passing for the finish.
A 3-ball. The Hornets pull it in. A tough loss coming against New York in their last game played.
Yeah, I mean, on the road, their defense was just overrun. Couldn't match the intensity of the opponent, and it cost them.
And you know what, guys? It just seemed like they never really had the kind of energy necessary. They just weren't comfortable on the defensive end.
Now, man. Here's Grant. Some solid defense from Brown.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in this one. Celtics lead by 3. We're going to step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after our halftime.
Trump, right?
No. When you have you ever watched a city council?
Thanks for tuning in. Did you miss us? Before we discuss the game at hand, let's first check out the upcoming schedule.
I was chatting with that devil.
And for their matchup with the Mavericks, Clash of the Titans, going against the best team in the NBA. You have to minimize your turnovers, take good shots, and make big plays and big shots. That's a lot to ask, but that's what it's going to take.
And guys, the Charlotte Hornets are in an even game.
One thing that's kept them close, putting in work on the offensive glass. They're feasting on second chances.
Yeah, they've been active, and they're playing with intensity.
And that's a halftime wrap. Let's get back to the second half with the call by Kevin Harlan and the crew.
Top 3 side hop.
Hey, TikTok, can't wait for you to hear about Owenworth.
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. Analytics or the eye test? The optics or the numbers in front, Greg? When you're judging the performance of a player, what kind of criteria do you use?
Well, an MVP candidate recently said, my eye test tells me this guy's a terrible defender, but the analytics tell me he's a great defender. I'm confused, and I often feel the same way.
Miller is out there with Trey Mann. Then there's Jeremy Grant. Then it's Mark Williams. And it's Zalon in at the power forward position. So that's the group out there for Charlotte. Williams sends a screen for Miller. Rebound by the Celtics.
And another miss. Oof, he's having a really ugly game.
Yeah, about as ugly as you can have, you're right. Pass to Tatum. Tatum using his size inside.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
Miller outside. On the wing, man. Still yet to score. Grant, that's good.
Boy, he's a much improved three-point shooter, Jeremy Grant. Coaches have to appreciate what he does for the team spacing because of him knocking that down.
Wasted no time on that one. He's got 22.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
Nothing like answering back. One team gets 3, you fire 3 of your own. Boom.
Williams sends a screen for Miller. And hits one. Maybe he's ready to get back on track. Miller's got his second basket of the night.
Now, how about this move by Miller? Using the pick and roll to create some space for himself.
Wasted no time on that shot, but it's off the mark. Hornets trail by 5. And what stands out most, Clark, about Mark Williams, it has to be his rebounding.
Yeah, he's a glass-eating machine, and on a per-minute basis, he's one of the best in the league at corralling boards. But he's had a little bit of an issue staying healthy. When he's on the floor, though, he gives them a real powerful presence up front.
And he's good on the 3-ball. And the Celtics lead by 6.
They're getting a lot of their points outside the paint. 3 of their last 5 baskets are from 3-point range.
Miller with a screen on Brown. Grant for 3. They get it back. Here's Mann. The 3-pointer no good. Celtics leading by 6. Tatum with a screen on Williams. Uncovered. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in.
And they're scoring much more efficiently here in the second half, and they've gotten that field goal percentage above 50.
I tell you what, any team will take that. I mean, if you're shooting over 50%, it means you're getting the kind of looks you want on offense. and you're being smart about it, and you're knocking down the good shots that you get.
And with an update from the sideline, let's check in with David Aldridge.
Kevin, thanks. Well, there's plenty of scorers on the Celtics, but Jason Tatum says, I'm going to get my shots. It's just about trusting the process. From experience, I understand that I'm good enough that I can relax and defer a little bit. Then in the fourth, I can score 20 in the quarter. Kevin, it sounds like he's figured it all out.
Thank you so much. You know, he can take over at any time, and it's fun to watch. DA, we thank you for that. 5 to shoot. Oh, and the jam by Williams.
And we always talk about making your teammate better. That assist was right on target.
And so Joe
Substitution on the court.
Celtics passing it around. Connects from three-point range. 30 points in the game.
You know, whenever White sees an open teammate, he's getting the ball to him right away. No hesitation.
On the court for the Celtics. Holiday in the backcourt. To his side is White. Then there's Jason Tatum. And it's Hauser in at the small forward spot. Smith, no good.
Boy, that's a look. He has to finish, and he knows it. Blown opportunity.
Back to Tatum. There's the three. And the Celtics hit again from deep.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
It's hard for me to watch this. I mean, the defense practically giving them those shots.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole because he is just not there offensively.
Pass to Hauser. The three. Connects again from distance. Buries his 10th triple of the game.
Unbelievable.
And so it's Charles Lee calling timeout. He knows every possession is critical now. So it's both teams making substitutions here. It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Hey, guys, during the break, listen in with Charles Lee and his team. He was preaching the importance of effort, saying he wanted to see second and third efforts each possession. We need to be the more active team down the stretch. Guys?
Thank you, David. Celtics leading by 11. Tatum with the screen on Williams. Oh, Tatum in position. And out of bounds as the Hornets gain possession.
Well, that's a moment he'd like to archive. Embarrassing lapse of...
Follow. There's a rose as well.
Judgment there.
How do you keep up with all this?
The Hornets have gone 4 of 7
I'm
from
way
the field
behind
since the
on all
beginning
the
of the
challenges. I think that's my own fault.
Pass to Grant. Back to man.
What I didn't do. I didn't get 4 points in the paint. Man, I'm bad at challenges. That's why I don't get anything done. Yo, cramp up. Good day to you.
Williams a screen. Man gets the bucket.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
Yeah, that's not the defense you need. You got to be tougher defensively.
Tatum with the screen on Williams.
See, this other thing, maybe the playoff thing. And he doesn't even give you any event
38
cards.
in the game.
And no matter what they've tried, the D just has
That's
not
how they
been
get
able
you.
to deny them the ball inside.
And it's slammed in by Williams.
Yeah, that's just good basketball there by Grant, moving the ball to the wide open.
Points in the last showdown
game. Getting an assist out of it.
A three-pointer.
You are a menace, Grandpa. Menace.
Right on target.
He's found his rhythm from deep, and you can see the confidence.
Yeah, I'd be confident too. As a matter of fact, I mean, if you're stacking up threes the way he is, I mean, he's doing all his work from behind the arc.
Lets it go with a three. They get it again. Tatum fighting for those second chance points.
Tatum hanging around the basket. Got the board and bucket.
Hornets trail by 13. Here's Williams. And Tatum pulls it down. Tatum's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Brown with the screen on Miller. Driving inside. And yes, it's good.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for Boston.
In the end, they had a better shooting percentage, and that's what made the difference. Sometimes, you know, things go your way. The other team wasn't catching many lucky breaks themselves.
Yeah, and Kevin, not all about luck. I thought their overall shot selection was better.
And so that moves their record to 11 wins on the year.
And continued dominance against this team, winning both of their matchups this season.
And, you know, against a conference opponent who you're going to see 4 times. Total on the season, a 2-0 advantage is pretty healthy.
1:09 left to play in the final quarter.
That's it.
Screen by Nurkic. 6 to shoot. Okogie misses. Boston's gone to three-point range for 12 of their points in the final quarter on 4 of 5 shooting. Jacks up a 3. Sinks the triple.
And it's just
yeah, they're doing all different kinds of experimenting.
You know, giving your best when it matters most.
Yeah, you know, once they got victory in their view, a huge injection of energy and a great run to finish it off.
Nurkic setting the pick for Smith. And again, the Hornets missing. And here's Holiday, who will bring it up for Boston. 18 points separating the teams. That's the biggest lead of the game. Takes the 3. And another one. Balls amazing.
My goodness. 50 for the game.
Yep, he is putting on a show.
Yo,
Man passes to Nurkic.
Good day to you.
Smith on the wing, looking to get it going. Launches it, and another one falls. He's been absolutely ridiculous in this game.
Seems
so
like
Boston easily
not
grabbing.
the time to shop for souped up Devin Vassell, I'm thinking. Hip.
They really thought they had a chance tonight.
Yeah, game's gonna. Nader's rich.
It's game time, MP. You ready to put that work in?
And he's about to tear it up.
Hottest team in the land coming through.
Where Dante goes. Dante.
للناس اللي كانوا عم يسألوا امتى نتيجة اللوتري فيزا.
Offside.
Visit the Celtics City Pad to get your tickets. We've got our round of final day coming up during our next coaching segment. Be sure to attend your family and everyone.
Chris Webber, 17 legends. Nice work. I think that is the deal. I don't know exactly. It seems like Weber's one of the top ones.
Let's see some of the numbers here for Derek Lively.
And over the last 5 games, his field goal percentage has increased. You can make a case his confidence as well because of this.
And now Dallas' starting group. We've got Davis. Anthony Davis is out there with Najee Marshall. Then it's Kyrie Irving, and it's Lively in at the 5 down low. And for the Celtics, the 2 J's, Brown at the 3, Tatum at the 4. Pritchard and White at the 1 and the 2.
Wow, how about the long arms and the timing of Jason Tatum on the alley-oop? Nice.
And close to a quarter of the way into the season now, Grant. How aware are the players of where they are in the season?
You know, B.A., you generally are aware of where you are in the year, but you rarely see guys counting games played or anything like that.
And the expression, not enough touches to go around. Do the Celtics risk falling into that trap, Doris?
Well, first and foremost, B.A., if that's a problem for you, it's a good one to have. I think the key here is with all the weapons available, you have to have some personal sacrifice. And to this point, this team has been willing to do that.
Bunch of open score.
Offensive rebound. And a slam dunk by Lively.
Oh, my goodness. Not only a vertical threat, but a big-time finisher, Derek Lively.
This one for 3. Connects from downtown.
Hey, when he's hitting that shot, it really helps the spacing for this team.
And what happens is the court just opens up. You like seeing him get into
what
the
made
rhythm
you decide to pick up
the
Webber of all the cards?
All right, let's get a report from Allie.
I caught up with Coach Joe Mazzulla. I asked Coach how they plan
Again,
to defend Kyrie Irving. He laughed and said, "That's top secret, but seriously, Irving's got those moves, the counter moves, the incredible finishing around the rim, and sometimes you just hope Kyrie has an off night."
We need that dark
we'll see how
matter.
locked in Kyrie is tonight, guys.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you, Allie. Just 5 to shoot. Oh, there's the alley. Oh. Tatum slams it home.
You see the level of verticality that Jason Tatum brings to the table. Nice.
Irving for 3. They get the rebound. Lively. And a slam dunk by Lively.
And this is something he does all too well.
Especially this year. If you find a card that you can consistently shoot with,
he doesn't think twice about passing it out. Just going
your
right
favorite
for the slam.
No reason to do so there. He was going to leave, no doubt.
And it's the Mavericks with the ball. The Celtics making their last shot. Snatched up. Over to the left wing. Marshall with the bucket.
I mean, this guy reads situations so well, and he knows how to execute.
Boston's gone 1 of 2 from three-point land so far. And it's Irving off the drive. That's in there. Davis with the assist.
I could make the case Kyrie Irving is the best ball handler of all time. On the dribble drive, look out.
All right, Doris, Kyrie Irving is a special talent. What's his greatest asset, you think, on the floor?
Oh, B.A., this is a tough question. If you ask NBA players, they'll tell you the guy with the best handle historically is Kyrie Irving. But to me, his best attribute, fearlessness, the ability to deliver when it most matters.
These teams have really gone back and forth.
Yeah, 5 lead changes already. This one's going to be a battle for sure.
Well, Jason Tatum has worked hard to fill out his frame. It's not going to bother him that you're bringing a level of physicality.
Again, Irving missing.
Man, miss after miss for him. When you're having a quarter like this, the only beneficiary is the defense.
Pure from three-point range.
Well, he showed right there. This guy capable of making shots, especially if you leave him that wide open.
And they doubled up Irving. Lively passes to Irving. Second chance effort. And Lively with the lay-in. It's good. Lively's got 11 points.
Well, individually, he is doing everything he can in this 12-minute session, but he's just not getting enough help.
He connects, and now he's 4 for 6 in today's game.
And you like the balance here, not just falling in love with the 3-ball.
Mavericks trail by 4. And we've got a timeout from Jason Kidd. And we might see some changes. Coach potentially looking to adjust. Both teams making some changes here. We are now into November, so let's check in on the standings in the Western Conference. You look at the Mavericks, they're sitting at the top of their conference right now with the #1 record.
Checking out Dallas, I think we all knew they were going to be a dangerous team, but to their credit, they have lived up to those expectations. They're just not a team you want to face right now.
Yeah, and there really hasn't been any feeling out process for them at the start of the season. They were in peak form immediately.
Here's Kerr. Inside, pass to De Silva. Here's Martin. He buries it from 3.
Defensively, you can't afford to get stuck on the pick.
You know exactly what that takes. It takes energy, it takes activity, it takes intensity.
Now here's Holiday. They set a pick, and here's Brown for 3. Gafford grabs the miss. The Mavericks trailing. Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Here's Kerr. Martin outside. Here's De Silva, covered by Alexander Walker. There's Davis with the 3. Gets the 3 to fall. And the chess match continues.
7 lead changes already, and we're still in the first half.
Now Brown. Substitutions. Irving finds Washington. Here's De Silva. Pass to Irving. And stolen by Holiday. So the Mavericks 5 right now. Washington and Gafford, the combo inside. Then it's Kyrie Irving, and it's Prosper in at the 3 spot. Now Holiday. Puts up a deep 3. And out of bounds. Dallas will have it. Pritchard's checked in for Cato. Lively, he's checked in for Dallas. Davis comes in for Prosper. A minute and a half gone in the second quarter. Grant, we're starting to see more players throwing alley-oops to themselves off the backboard. Did you ever do that?
In practice, maybe, but although I had some leaping ability early on, I never had the audacity to do it in the real game.
Let's go now to the sideline.